ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखावितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण प्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतः सेवया भगवतीम् उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणे। Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, chapter 2, chapter entitled Maharaj Nimi meets the 9 Yogendras. Text 12. Shrutah anupatitah dhyata adritah वा अनुमोदितः सद्या पुनाति सद्धर्मो देव विश्वद्रुहो अपि हि श्रुतो अनुपठितो ध्यात आद्रतो वानुमोदितः सद्या पुनाति सद्धर्मो देव विश्वद्रुहोऽपि श्रुतो अनुपठितो ध्याता आदृतो वानुमोदितः सद्या पुनाति सद्धर्मो देव विश्वद्रुहोऽपि श्रुतो अनुपठितो ध्याता आदृतो वानुमोदितः सद्या पुनाति सद्धर्मो देव विश्वद्रुहोऽपि। श्रुतो अनुपठितो ध्यात आदृतो वानुमोदितः सद्य पुनाति सद्धर्मो देव विश्वाद्रोहोऽपि हि. One more devotee. श्रुतो अनुपठितो ध्याता आदृतो वानुमोदितः सद्य पुनाति सद्धर्म देव. Hare Krishna. Mataji's? Someone? Mata बात नहीं पची. Word to word meaning. Shrutah, heard. Anupatitah, subsequently chanted. Dhyata, meditated on. Adritah, faithfully accepted. Va, or. Anumoditah, praised when performed by others. Sadhya, immediately. Punati, purifies. Saddharma, pure devotional service. Deva, to the demigods. Vishwa, and to the universe. Druha, those who are hateful. Apihi, even. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Pure devotional service rendered to the Supreme Lord is spiritually so potent that simply by hearing about such transcendental service, by chanting its glories in response, by meditating on it, by respectfully and faithfully accepting it, or by praising the devotional service of others, even persons who hate the demigods and all other living beings can be immediately purified. Please repeat. Pure devotional service rendered to the Supreme Lord is spiritually so potent that simply by hearing about such transcendental service, by chanting its glories in response, by meditating on it, by respectfully and faithfully accepting it, or by praising the devotional service of others, even persons who hate the demigods and all other living beings can be immediately purified. Purport. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has commented that the word Saddharma refers to Bhagavat Dharma. This is also confirmed by Sridhar Swami. Bhagavat Dharma is spiritually so powerful that even those who by worldly standards are implicated in various ways in sinful behavior can easily be purified by adopting any of the processes mentioned in this verse. In the practice of ordinary piety, one worships God with expectation of receiving something in return for one's service. Similarly, the impersonalist aspires for his own liberation, wishfully thinking that he'll become equal to God. In Bhagavat Dharma, however, there is no such impurity. Bhagavat Dharma is devotional service to the Lord. in which the only objective is the satisfaction of the Lord. If one rejects this process and instead wants to hear about, teach, or meditate upon another process, the chance for immediate purification is lost. Neither ordinary materialistic yoga processes meant for achieving mystic powers, nor impersonal processes based on speculation have the power to purify immediately those who have fallen into sinful behavior. Sad Dharma or Bhagavad Dharma, pure devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is unique in that even the most fallen souls can immediately raise to the highest perfectional stage by surrendering at the lotus feet of Krishna or his pure devotee. This was vividly demonstrated in the preaching work of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially in the case of sinful brothers Jagai and Madhai. Let me repeat the translation again. Pure devotional service rendered to the Supreme Lord is spiritually so potent that simply by hearing about such transcendental service, by chanting its glories in response, by meditating on it, by respectfully and faithfully accepting it, or by praising the devotional service of others, even persons who hate the demigods and other living beings can be immediately purified. Hare Krishna. So this is my great fortune that I have been given this opportunity to share some Harikatha on the New Year day with the devotees here. So I would like to seek the blessings of all the assembled devotees so that I may speak something of relevance. Hare Krishna. Little austerity to hear Bhagavad Katha in Hare Krishna. So this is the section that we are reading. Narad Muni is residing currently in Dwaraka. Residing means because Lord Krishna is residing in Dwaraka, Narad Muni takes the opportunity to stay there at Dwaraka for some time and take darshan of Lord Krishna, take darshan of Lord Krishna's associates. Narad Muni is moving around at different houses. Lord Krishna has 16,108 wives. So Narad Muni is going in different palaces and relishing Lord Krishna's pastimes. So one fine morning, Lord Krishna went to the house of Vasudev and Devaki. So as we all know, Vasudev and Devaki are also residing in Dwaraka with Lord Krishna and other queens. So they all have their own residential palaces. So one fine morning, Narad Muni visited the residence of Yashoda and Devaki and Vasudev. And it is a duty of a grihastha to wholeheartedly welcome a brahmachari or a sannyasi. So Narad Muni is a brahmachari, he's a mendicant, he's moving around. So very respectfully, Devaki and Vasudev, they welcomed Narad Muni at their residence, offered him a seat, washed his lotus feet, and offered him worship with all kinds of different paraphernalia. And after all this worship, Vasudev is now asking Narad Muni, Vasudev is telling that, my dear Narad Muni, we are grihasthas, and by nature we are engaged in different kind of materialistic activities. So you kindly bless us with some Krishna Katha. You kindly help us. You kindly guide us so that we may become absorbed in the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. We may become absorbed in the service of the Supreme Lord. Now, interestingly, who is asking this? Vasudev and Devaki. They are not ordinary devotees by any means. They are the parents of the Supreme Lord Krishna himself. But out of their humility, they are expressing their petition before the Narad Muni that kindly guide us so that how may we become more and more absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So we can see that more advanced a devotee is, the more humble he becomes. So Vasudeva and Devaki are very advanced devotees, but they do not want to miss the association of Narad Muni. They do not want to pose themselves as, see how great devotees we are, that Lord Krishna has become our child. Instead, they are telling that we are absorbed in materialistic activities, we are grihasthas. We do not have sufficient time for hearing and chanting. So it is our great fortune that you have come here. Kindly bless us with some Krishna Katha. Similarly, we see in the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Yudhishthir Maharaj poses a similar kind of enquiry before Narad Muni. In 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Narad Muni explains the dharma of renunciates, immediately after that chapter, Yudhishthir Maharaj asks the question. Yudhishthir Maharaj says that, my dear Narad Muni, you have already explained the dharma of renunciates. And we are very sure that because renunciates are already engaged in Krishna consciousness, so very easily they'll achieve the highest perfection. But what about us? We are engaged in materialistic activities. We have our families to take care. So kindly guide us. And then Narad Muni explains the dharma of a grihastha. In both these episodes, we see that although, just like Yudhishthir Maharaj is a very exalted devotee, just like Vasudev is a very exalted devotee, but they are setting a very high standard for all of us devotees, that we may be on any platform of our devotional practice, but whenever we get the opportunity to hear from the other exalted devotees, we must not miss that opportunity. After this incident, after this conversation, actually Narad Muni will tell the story of Nava Yogendras visiting King Nimi. So Nimi Maharaj was organizing a big sacrifice, yajna. And it happened that the Nava Yogendras, they happened to visit Nimi's palace at that opportune moment. Now when we see, we have our experience. Say for example, if somebody is hosting a big yajna and the Hare Krishna devotees goes to their home, so what they will say, प्रभु जी यज्ञ चल रहा है, आप वहां पीछे बैठ के थोड़ा कीर्तन कर दीजिए. First thing they will tell like this. That means generally people consider what is more important. The fire sacrifice, the yajna is more important. So yajna is going on. You kindly play some musical instrument, chant some Hare Krishna at the backside. This will give more kind of nice ambience to the environment. That is first thing. Now second thing, we'll observe that the host in whose home this yajna is being performed, He's the most busiest personality. He's busy in receiving guests. He's busy making arrangements of prasadam. He's busy making arrangements for the yajna. It is unimaginable that the host will come, sit close to the sadhus and hear Krishna Katha. But what the standard that Nimi Maharaj is setting, yajna is going on, at that opportune moment, the Chatushkumaras, they entered. So Nimi Maharaj left all his responsibilities aside. Immediately worshipped the Chatushkumaras. And then he started to ask spiritual enquiries. He asked one question to each Yogendra. That means 9 questions to 9 Yogendras. And we are very thankful to Nimi Maharaj that he has left aside all his responsibilities and he started to ask relevant questions to the Yogendras. And out of all the relevant questions, one most important question was the 9th question. And what was that 9th question? That Supreme Personality of Godhead comes in every yuga. In which color? In what forms? And what is the yuga dharma they propagate? Thanks to Nimi Maharaj that he asked this particular question. And then the last Yogendra, he told that there are 4 yugas. Lord appears in different yugas, in different yuga avatar. And Kali Yuga, Lord comes as Sriman Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, just imagine, before coming to ISKCON, like when I was becoming connected with ISKCON, I could accept everything. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, understood. Others are demigods, I understood. But why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is God? And then as usual, ISKCON devotees will give us some references from different Puranas, some references from different Upanishads. And when we'll go out and search for those Upanishads, we'll never find those Upanishads. How many of you have this experience this? At least when I was going in different spiritual libraries, trying to find out those Upanishads where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has been mentioned, but you'll not find those references as they are. I will say, the most powerful reference we get from Srimad Bhagavatam only. Direct question is, Nimi Maharaj is asking that Lord appears in different forms, in different yugas, to kindly elaborate. And the Yogendra is elaborating. So, from the character of Nimi Maharaj, what we can see, that when there is opportune movement for hearing Krishna Katha, we should leave aside other we should, as far as possible, leave aside other responsibilities and hear Krishna Katha. Similar example is being said by Prithu Maharaj. When Chatushkumaras, they entered into the sacrificial arena of Prithu Maharaj, immediately he gave up all other activities and not only worshipped the Chatushkumaras, then he asked relevant enquiries. So this is the standard that has been set by the great acharyas, the great kings, the great leaders. So we see here that Vasudev, out of his immense humility, is posing very relevant enquiries before Narad Muni. Now this particular verse, like many other verses in Srimad Bhagavatam, is glorifying devotional service. Now we see that Srimad Bhagavatam is a literature which glorifies only devotional service. In fact, those who are engaged in devotional service, those who are aspiring for devotional service, those who are successful in their devotional service, are considered as the heroes in Srimad Bhagavatam. The best example is Vrittasura. Now Vedas glorifies Indra, telling that Indra has killed Vrittasura and saved his entire universe from the calamity. But Srimad Bhagavatam does not glorify Indra. In the eyes of Srimad Bhagavatam, Indra is not the hero. Who is the hero? Vrittasura is the hero. In the eyes of the world, who is the hero? Indra is the hero, because Indra successfully killed Vrittasura and saved the entire universe. But Srimad Bhagavatam does not glorify Indra on those grounds. Srimad Bhagavatam glorifies Vrittasura, although Vrittasura is defeated as per the general understanding. And Srila Sridhar Swami, he defines what is this Srimad Bhagavatam. Jiva Goswami quotes in his Tattva Sandarbha that Sridhar Swami has said, which literature we may classify as Srimad Bhagavatam? The one which has 18,000 verses? Any other literature can also have 18,000 verses. So yes, Srimad Bhagavatam has 18,000 verses. Bhashyam Brahma Sutranam, it is the commentary of Brahma Sutra, it is the commentary of Vedanta Sutra. Yes. But the most important characteristic of Srimad Bhagavatam is, it has the prayers of Vrittasura. Out of all characteristics of Srimad Bhagavatam, the most important characteristics, the literature which has the prayers of Vrittasura. Now, who is the hero in Srimad Bhagavatam? Vrittasura. And who is the hero in the Vedas? Indra. So certainly, different literature have different focus points. But Srimad Bhagavatam's focus point is bhakti, devotional service. And therefore, those who are engaged in devotional service are considered to be the heroes in Srimad Bhagavatam. And when we see that this particular verse, it is saying that what is devotional service? So hearing, chanting is devotional service. Anumoditaha is someone else is performing devotional service. And we are simply glorifying that person. We also get the benefit of his devotional service. Just see how nice the process is. How nice this process is. When someone else is performing devotional service, similar statement is given by Kunti Maharani in her prayers. That, my dear Lord, if somebody is simply appreciating the devotional qualities of others, genuine appreciation for someone who is practicing Krishna consciousness, will be benefited by their Krishna consciousness. Just see how nice the process is. Hearing and chanting. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that what exactly this Srimad Bhagavatam is, it is the realization that Shukdev Goswami is sharing with all of us. Yaha swa anubhavan akhil shruti saram ekam. Akhil shruti saram ekam. After undergoing the study of all the Vedic literature, Shukdev Goswami is presenting his own realizations. Akhil shruti saram ekam adhyatma deepam atitir shatam tamo andham sansarinam karunya purana guhyam. Why Shukdev Goswami is speaking the Srimad Bhagavatam? Sansarinam karunyaha purana guhyam. for the benefit of the entire mankind, sansarinam, karunyaha, out of great compassion. So Shukdev Goswami has underwent the study of the entire Vedic literature and presented his own realization. So that is very important. What exactly hearing and chanting means, that we hear Srimad Bhagavatam, we assimilate the Srimad Bhagavatam, we engage ourselves in the process of devotional service. When we engage ourselves in the process of devotional service, we get some realizations. And sharing those realizations is what we call as chanting, preaching. Preaching is defined as the overflow of the ecstasy that a devotee is experiencing in his Krishna consciousness. Every year in this temple, we are every day in this temple we are hearing wonderful book distribution scores are coming up. Generally, immediately after Mangala arati, the curtains closes. But Lord RadhaRasbihari has to wait for, I guess, for more than 10 minutes as the scores are being announced. So why such wonderful scores are coming up? Devotees are feeling ecstatic in their practice of Krishna consciousness, and the overflow of that joy is they are distributing it. Because if a person himself is very dry, then he may not be able to share the happiness with others. So, hearing and chanting means when we hear Krishna Katha and we engages ourselves in the process of devotional service, as we become purified, we have certain realizations to share. Now, Shukdev Goswami is very junior in the assembly of the sages. But all the sages have assembled there to hear the realizations of Shukdev Goswami that he is sharing through the Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, this hearing process is glorified everywhere. In fact, as we were discussing, the most ingredient of any yajna is hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam. His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj was sharing in one of his katha that in villages they used to say that we are going in yajna for hearing yajna. हम यज्ञ सुनने जा रहे हैं, यज्ञ देखने नहीं जा रहे हैं कि यज्ञ करने नहीं जा रहे हैं. People used to say हम यज्ञ सुनने जा रहे हैं, because the most important part of yajna is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And why it is most important part? Because it purifies. It purifies even those who are hateful towards demigods. It is being mentioned in this verse. The one lesson that we need to understand is, sometimes we become quite fanatic. Yes, in the process of pure devotional service, we do not worship demigods. But we must not become disrespectful or hateful towards demigods. We may not worship demigods, but we must not become disrespectful towards them. Because when we say that devotee respects everyone, even a small ant, then what to say of the great demigods? So they must be respected. But as a process of pure devotional service, which has been led down by our acharyas, we do not worship demigods separately, because we understand that when we worship the Supreme Lord, we worship all the demigods. Yatha taror moola nishechanena tripyanti tatskanda bhujopashakaha prano para jathendriyanam tathev sarva harnam achyutijya. Just like when we water the roots, the entire plant becomes nourished, entire tree becomes nourished. Just like when we put food in the stomach, the entire limbs become nourished. Similarly, when we worship the Supreme Lord, all the demigods become specified. They are already worshipped. And therefore, there is no need to take to demigod worship. But at the same time, we must not become disrespectful towards the demigods. So that is very important understanding that we need to develop. Now, there is a story about purification in Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is a story, very wonderful story about Diti. Now, who is Diti? She is one of the wives of Kashyap Muni, and she is the mother of the demons. Now, this particular story not only elaborates the glories of devotional service, it also elaborates that when a devotee is stuck into a dead-end situation, how Krishna miraculously saves him. We know that Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh were killed. Hiranyaksh was killed by Lord. Hiranyaksh was killed by Varahadev. And Hiranyakashipu was killed by Lord Narsimha. When the children will die, what will happen to the mother? Naturally. So Diti was very upset. She was so much upset, and the fire of revenge was blazing in her heart. So she wanted to kill Indra. Actually, she had no animosity towards Lord Vishnu. Her animosity was towards Indra. Why? Indra never killed Hiranyaksh or Hiranyakashipu. Lord Vishnu killed. But why Diti was feeling animosity towards Indra and not towards Lord Vishnu? Because according to Diti, Lord Vishnu is a very simple-hearted person. This is this Indra who is influencing the Supreme Lord. And because of the influence of Indra, Supreme Lord has taken incarnation as Varaha and Narsimha and killed my sons. So therefore, Diti wanted to annihilate, Diti wanted to kill Indra. So what Diti did? Very nicely, Diti served her husband Kashyap. And when Diti was serving Kashyap very nicely, Kashyap became very happy, very jubilant, very satisfied by the service of Diti. It is said that one must not take any decision when you are too happy or when you are too sad. Just like Dashrath, he was too excited, he was too happy, and he gave boons to Kaikeyi. Whatever you want, you may take. A person must not take decision when he is too happy. Sometimes out of our great excitement, we announce something. Oh, I'll sponsor this, I'll sponsor that. And then it becomes very difficult. Similarly, Kashyap Muni became so delighted that out of great pleasure, great happiness, he told Diti, you may ask for any boon you want. And Diti was looking for this particular moment. And Diti said, my dear husband, Kashyap, I want one boon. And what is that boon? I want a child who can kill Indra. Now see, Kashyap Muni is known for his truthfulness. It is said that when a sage, if they are not truthful, their entire sadhana becomes fail. So he cannot say no now. There is no point, he cannot say no. At the same time, he cannot say tathastu. Because Kashyap is the father of Indra also. Kashyap has many wives, out of which Diti is one and Aditi is another. And Indra is the son of Aditi. So he cannot say no, he cannot say yes. And now Kashyap is completely, what we call, he's in a dead end situation. He has already given the boon to Diti that you may ask for anything that you want. But he cannot say Tathastu, as you wish. So what to do? Say, for example, it is said that, say you are confronting a tiger in a forest. What you will do? If you are confronting a tiger in a forest, what you will do? Now you cannot do anything. Whatever has to be done by tiger itself. Similarly, now Kashyap cannot do anything. At most he can do is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So when there is a dead end situation in life, one must simply come before the Lord and say, my dear Lord, I am completely surrendered. Because I do not have anything else to do. Because somehow or other, I have now caught up in this situation. And there is no point in lamenting also. There should be some lamentation, but there is no use of lamentation anyways. Because now you have already stuck into a certain situation where you cannot do anything. So as Kashyap was intensely praying, he got an idea. Of course, that idea has been revealed by the Lord himself within his heart. He said, my dear wife Diti, whatever you are desiring will be fulfilled. But you have to undergo severe penances and austerities and worship Lord Vishnu for one complete year, 1 year, 12 months. Narad Muni says in Srimad Bhagavatam that if somebody is inspired by love and somebody is inspired by hate, the inspiration by hate is powerful than inspiration by love. So Diti accepted all penances and all austerities, not because she had love for Lord Vishnu, but because she had immense hatred for Indra. And word by word, as it is, Yatha Roop, whatever Kashyap has told, you worship, you have to do this, you have to get up at certain point, you have to follow certain principles, you have to do certain level of austerities. Everything Diti was doing very nicely, because she had immense hatred for Indra. Similarly, we see Dhruva Maharaj. His intensity was not coming by attraction towards Lord Vishnu. His intensity was coming because, how can my stepmother do like this with me? So sometimes when there is difficult situation in our life, it is Krishna's specific arrangement to bring us to his lotus feet. So Diti was practicing whatever was suggested by Kashyap. Very nicely she was practicing. And as the days were passing by and her intensity of austerities were growing and growing and growing, Indra was becoming more and more frightened, more and more fearful. What will happen? What will happen? What will happen? Because Indra knows that Lord Vishnu's devotional service is amogha. So Indra was becoming more and more fearful. And Indra was finding out means and ways and loopholes that where Diti will make certain small fault and I'll destroy the embryo that is within the Diti's womb. So one day, Diti while executing her austerities, she became too tired. And out of tiredness, after having little prasadam, she forgot to wash her mouth and feet. According to the Vaishnava standards, before and after prasadam, we must wash mouth, hand and feet also. Generally we forget to wash feet, especially during winters when we are wearing socks. But as per the Vaishnava etiquette, we must wash our feet also. So Diti made this mistake. She forgot to wash her feet. And Indra was looking for the loophole, that as Diti will make a small mistake, I'll immediately enter into her womb and destroy the embryo. So, after this mistake, immediately Indra entered into the womb of Diti. And with his Vajra, he attacked the embryo. And one embryo, single embryo, it divided into the 7 parts. And by the potency of the Supreme Lord, none of them died. They all got life. And they were crying. See, what kind of biology goes in the heavenly planets, we don't know. So we cannot compare their biology with our biology. And that is not our subject matter as well. We simply have to catch the essence. Actually, there are 2 types of listeners of Srimad Bhagavatam. One listener is like a channi. You know channi? Another listener is like that of a sweeper. छन्नी जिसे चाय छानते हैं, काम की चीज निकल जाती है, कचरा रह जाता है. और जो स्वीपा होता है, स्वीपा, यू नो स्वीपा विद विच वी क्लीन द ग्रेन्स, व्हीट, उसमें कचरा निकल जाता है एंड काम की चीज रह जाती है. सो हियरिंग ऑफ श्रीमद् भागवतम इज ऑफ 2 टाइप्स, छन्नी टाइप एंड स्वीपा टाइप. इफ समबडी विल लिसन भागवतम, हाउ इट हैपेंड, कैसे इंद्र उनके घर में प्रवेश कर गया, how this is possible, when Gajendra used to move, the mountains used to shake, how is it possible? So that means they are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam in Channi style. They are missing the essence, Saragrahi. They must become Saragrahi. They must take the Sara, the essence. How Indra entered into the womb and how he killed, how is it possible? So we cannot explain it in our ordinary understanding of biology. For that we have to take birth in, heavenly planets and understand their biology. So we must take the essence. The essence is, as Indra entered and he tried to destroy the embryo, but instead of dying, they become 7. And Indra became much more frightened. And out of his great fear, actually fear induces violence. Those religions which are based on fear are more violent in nature. So Indra became much more fearful, and as a result of his fear, he became much more violent. And he again attacked each and every 7 embryos with his Vajra. And then 7 multiplied by 7, it became 49. And as they became 49, the time of delivery came close by. And Diti gave birth to 49 plus 1, Indra. Because he also came out of the womb of Diti. And while they were crying, Indra said, don't cry, matruta, maruda, don't cry. They become Marudganas. And when they came out, all 50 of them, immediately Diti saw, Indra, how are you here? The Bhagavata verse says, Tata, my dear Indra, my dear child, how you are here? Now same Diti who was aspiring to kill Indra, she is using the words, my dear Indra, my dear child, how you are here? And I aspired for one child. How come 49? In fact, when Shukdev Goswami was narrating this pastime, Parikshit Maharaj, he became quite amazed. How come the Vajra of Indra could not harm the embryo? Shukdev Goswami reminded him, you were also in the womb of your mother and Brahmastra could not do anything to you. Why? Because it is by the mercy of Lord Vishnu, by Krishna. Just like you were protected in your mother's womb by the Brahmastra of Ashwathama, similarly, the Marudganas are protected by the potency of Lord Vishnu. And when Indra came out, he said, my dear mother, when you were, doing these severe austerities to kill me, I became very frightened, fearful. And I was looking for a loophole to destroy your penances. But by the mercy of Lord Vishnu, by the potency of Lord Vishnu, they never died. And just see Diti. Diti is saying, Indra, actually I made a mistake. I must not have done like that. Why there is animosity between you and me? We are all just puppets in the hands of Lord. Entire year, she was practicing severe austerities. For what purpose? To kill Indra. And as Indra is there, Marudganas are there, Diti is saying, no, it was my fault. I should not have aspired for this kind of, very lowly feeling. My dear Indra, I have a request. These are your brothers, because anyhow, Sahodara, you are coming from the same Udara and they are also coming from the same Udara. If they will stay here in the association of demons, they will become polluted. Better take them to the heavenly abode. Just treat them like your younger brothers. Give them your company. I don't want them to stay here in the association of demons. And Indra very happily took the Marudganas to the Swargaloka. Now just see, it was a dead-end situation for 4. Kashyap Muni, Diti, Indra, and the embryo, who later on become Marudganas. So Kashyapa means whatever you want. Tathastu means whatever you aspire, you'll get it. So now Diti is aspiring for, she's not aspiring for the killing of Indra, she's aspiring for well-wishing of Indra. Actually, the Sanskrit word was Indraha, the killer of Indra. But Indraha also means the follower of Indra. So Indra got his followers. So Kashyap was saved, Indra was saved, Diti was saved, her heart changed, and Marudganas, they not only got the association of the demigods in the heavenly planets, they were entitled to kill Indra, but they become the follower of Indra. So just see how devotional service purifies the consciousness of Diti. At the same time, the devotional service, how all 4 of them, they came out of the dead-end situation and became situated in a very nice platform. So that is the glories of devotional service. So Srimad Bhagavatam glorifies devotional service in right, left and center. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Does anybody have any question or comments?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for the nice class. Prabhuji, here in the purport, it's mentioned about pure devotional service, but it's mentioned that in the pure devotional service, one doesn't ask anything from the Lord. Like impersonalists, they want to merge, karmis, they want some material benefit, something like that. Now here the pure devotional service means you do not ask anything. But many times it seems like devotees also are in some need. Like they want something, good marks, something like that maybe. Good results in their book distribution, something like that. So when they are asking something from the Lord, because he is our master or he is mother, father, whatever. So does they are not practicing pure devotion also in that case?
Hare Krishna. Prabhu is asking a very nice question. That sometimes devotees ask something from the Lord, which may be helpful for their devotional service. So is it not a pure devotional service? Actually, anything which is helpful for our devotional service, we may ask from the Lord, but sometimes we don't know what is actually relevant for us. Say, I am a very poor person. If I'll get some money, then very peacefully I'll practice Krishna consciousness. But exactly opposite happens. When I get some wealth, then I may become averse to the Lord. So more than me, Lord knows that what exactly is good for that person. So therefore, instead of telling, therefore in devotee community we say, my dear Lord, actually, if I have little desire for this thing, but finally it is up to you, as you may desire. Just like we see in Srila Prabhupada's pastimes, when Prabhupada was in America in earlier days, in 67, 68, and he was admitted in the hospital. And apparently it was a very less chance of Prabhupada's survival, because he was... So the devotees asked Prabhupada that what we must pray to Lord Krishna. And then Prabhupada said that you may pray that, my dear Lord, if you may desire so, then kindly allow us to get the association of a spiritual master for some longer period. If you may desire so. Because Krishna may have some other plans for Srila Prabhupada. He may have to send Srila Prabhupada on other mission somewhere else. So therefore, instead of forcing Krishna, no Krishna, this is good for my devotional service. As if I know better than Krishna that what is good for my devotional service. So we may as a small child, we may come, my dear Lord, that, this particular thing is bothering me, and you know better than me that it is bothering me. I don't know whether it is good for me to ask or not ask, but at least I am giving my petition before you. Now, if you may desire, you may pass me or you may fail me, it is up to you, but kindly make sure that my enthusiasm for devotional service should not reduce. The greatest loss is the loss of enthusiasm in our devotional service. So the best prayer can be, my dear Lord, you know what exactly I want. I simply want to keep my enthusiasm steady. Now if it requires good marks or good wealth, then it is up to you, you may consider it. So that kind of prayer we must offer to the Lord. In Beggar series, Bhaktitit Maharaj elaborates like this, that in his books, that we may approach the Supreme Lord and we may give the petition, my dear Lord, my dear Radharani, these things are bothering me. Now it is up to you. That if it is good for my devotional service, it will enhance my devotional service, it will enhance my enthusiasm. Now it is up to you, kindly, you may give it to me. But then Lord knows that what exactly is good for the devotee. Thank you. Yes, Mataji is a question.
Hello. So my question is, in one of the pages in Bhagavad-gita, it has been written that the materialistic world is just a perverted reflection of the spiritual sky. So my question is, it means all the energies that are here, be it devotional, be it Maya, all comes from the spiritual sky. And when it comes to devotional and the Maya, I feel the ratio of the people who are devotional and the ratio of the people who are more into Maya is more than the devotional people. So why is that so? Pardon me?
Can you please repeat?
Okay, so my question is, the devotional people in every yuga are less than the people who are indulged in Maya. And if both the energies come from the same place, why is it that so that the devotional is less than the people?
Hare Krishna. Mataji is asking that why number of those who are devotees are always less in number than those who are in Maya, because we are in jail. Our Acharyas explains that because we are in jail, and in jail we cannot expect good people. We'll always expect those who are not surrendered. See, we are discussing about Narad Muni. Narad Muni is completely free. Why is free? Because the more surrendered he is, anyone who is more surrendered is more free. I can give an example. In our worldly life we see, there are two types of dogs. One is the Pomeranian dog, is very surrendered to the master, and master does not even put a belt on the dog's neck. The Pomeranian dogs moves around anywhere and everywhere, because the master knows that as I'll clap, he will come running to me. But the dogs, those are more rebellious. They never hear to their master. They are bound by the tight ropes. Similarly, as the level of surrender increases, there is more freedom. So although in this material world we see, there are people, those who are bound by the laws of material nature very tightly. Lust, anger, pride. So this is the result of their rebellion towards the Supreme Lord. But as those who are practicing Krishna consciousness and submitting and surrendering more and more, they feel free. Gradually, and finally they become free from the clutches of the material energy and go back home, back to Godhead. So in the jail, naturally there will be more those who are not surrendered, more rebellious. So they are put in tight jails. But as they have accepted the authority of this government, as they accepted the authority of Radha Rasbihari, gradually they become free, finally free. So it depends upon the degree of our surrender, our freedom is actually calculated. Hare Krishna. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.